What's going on YouTube? It's Jackson here again. Welcome back to the Daily Endeavours for the 12th of February. As always, there will be timecodes chapters in the description if you're looking for a specific endeavour for me to cover. So we've got a 15 steel set. It's a pretty... It's straightforward, but I'd say player interaction is going to be quite helpful here. So we've got or having access to DLC. So one quest, 8 items at a jewelry crafting table. You need Summerset for this. There's no way to do it without it. 2 duels, 2 former players, and then 2,000 Archival fortunes in the Infinite Archive. So this is the first one I'll go through real quick. It is very, very quick to do to get this done if you have the items available to do it with. So Archival fortunes. How the hell do you get these things? You have to do Infinite Archive. And here's the thing. So come to File of Racks. There's a couple of other things you can get. There's 3 merchants, right? So you got File of Racks, you've got File of Tizzers. Then over here you've also got File of Ool. There's 3 merchants. They all give a bunch of stuff that costs Archival fortunes. So the other merchant is File of Ool. So this guy actually has leads. So Sturdy Crucible and Steel Seven Fangs. So if you're looking for these leads, I don't know anything about these 2, but if there's a certain one you really want, but you just either you got really shitty luck or you're just you just don't want to have to deal with the content. For example, the Dragonstar Arena lead, I fucking hate looking for that one. So I've oh god, excuse me. I've just waited for that to show up here. And you can get other stuff here, you can get script stuff. This is very expensive. There's a 2,000 fortune item for getting a treasure map, but eSmart treasure map, I wouldn't buy that personally. So the only thing I really buy is the File of Racks 2,000 fortune unidentified sets. So this is why I say you can get this one done really quickly. All you have to do is come to this merchant here and buy one of these sets. So we're Nightblade, so we'll go Soul Cleaver, and that's it. That's the endeavor done. Now the issue with this is getting 2,000 fortunes if you don't have that many. That if you have 0, it will take you a fucking long time to get it. I'm talking about around the mark of 30 to 45 minutes, right? So you get 200 fortunes from killing each boss. It takes a couple of minutes at least to get to each boss because you do a stage, and then a cycle. The boss in the cycle gives you 200 fortunes. You can get them other ways. There's these imps called pilferers that will appear sometimes. It's just chance in certain cycles, and you get like mini games. If you complete them, you also get 200. The final boss, if you defeat her and complete the quest, that's also 500. But still, it takes a long time, and you can't rely on the pilferers because they're just random. They only show up sometimes when the game decides that you've been blessed. And the challenges, the like coffee break things on the side, they get harder and harder every time you successfully complete them and get the fortunes from them. So they actually get harder and harder as the game goes on. And if you start getting really difficult ones, you're probably not going to clear them. It's going to take you a while to try and clear them. And so you're just spending more time getting other stuff. So this one, like I said, if you've got 2,000 fortunes and you want to spend that stuff, it is very quick to do. And if you love Infinite Archive, it's probably not going to be a big deal. But for people who hate Infinite Archive, I'm not a big fan of it myself. This one sucked. This one sucked dick. It is really bad. Alright, so next up, we'll get to the better options here. So we've got one quest, which is, there's many different ways you can do this one. Obviously, you can just do quests, main quests, side quests, daily quests, anything. Personally, I think your 2 best options are, if you can do them, do writs. I think writs is really good. The writs, you get the equipment crafting writs, and all you have to do is just craft a couple of items. Especially the high tier writs, the rewards you get are really good. So they're practical to do. So yeah, if you can do these, it's really helpful. Now, if you don't have writs and you still just want to get this as fast as possible, if you've got a character slot available, there is another way. So what you can do is create a new character and get them to a certain area to basically complete a quest straight away. So I'll show you how to do that. Alright, first got to create a character. Doesn't matter what you make. just anything. What I usually do is just call this sacrificial, or and yeah, endeavors sacrifice. Yep, perfect. So that's usually what I just call them. Skip the tutorial, just keep going. So obviously if you want to keep the character, just name it something more beneficial to you, but at all you just, yeah. You can just create this character, do the quest, and then delete it, because in the future, if this one comes up again, you can just create the character again and just do the quest again, but yeah, that's up to you. Okay, so as soon as you get in, ignore all the fucking clutter on my screen. This is all my add-ons. Don't worry about them. The very first thing we're doing, so you won't have any houses yet, which sucks, but what you can do is go Home Tours, type in, in the Houses tab, look up Mara's Kiss Public House. See if anyone's got this. Yep. So just travel to that. Alright, so once you get in... Oh wow, this is actually surprisingly good. Alright, so just hop out. Yeah, that's a great idea. Put a merchant right at the door. That's really helpful. So this is the person you're looking for. That's why we choose Mara's Kiss, because it sets us down right next to where your character. Now there's 3 houses that do this. You've got Mara's Kiss Public House. There is also... Give me 1 sec. Ebony Flask. Oh yeah, it doesn't show up there. Hold on. The Ebony Flask in room. This is another one. And then we've got the Rosy Lion. The Rosy Lion. So these 3 here, Mara's Kiss isn't here, but these 3 here do the same thing. If you go to them and then exit out the door, you will have this character right there ready to go. So all you do is just talk to her, just keep pressing the talk button, and eventually you'll complete a quest. And boom, you're done. Really easy to do with a character, and now all you have to do is just log out and delete that character, or, you know, if you like the character, just keep them and move on. Just in case, if you don't have any of these in recommended, what I just suggest you do is just go to Browse Homes instead, because this usually has more stuff. So I'll just go Mara's Kiss again. There should be more options here. Yeah, see, look at how many options are here. So if you're struggling with recommended, just always check Browse Homes. There's just way more options. There's just recommended stuff that's more like practical usually. Alright, so let's just delete this character now. You know, as I said before, you can keep it if you want, but yeah, if you don't care too much, just go for it. I'll show you how. Okay, so you just press the delete button. You have to type in capitals delete, and you're done. So you get 3 deletes per day, and it gives you 1 extra every time a day passes. I think this is just so bots don't go nuts or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's always something related to that. That's the cause of that sort of thing. Okay, so next of the non-player interaction options, we've got 8 items at a jewelry crafting table. So unfortunately, unlike the other ones, there's no free way to do this very easily. There's a couple of things you can do, but my advice for this, the quickest way in the game, is just go to any jewelry crafting station. Firstly, check if you got stuff to deconstruct, obviously. I've got a couple of things here, but what I usually do is go just ring, level 1, no traits, and just use a bunch of pewter ounce to craft a bunch of stuff. So it'll cost you 16 pewter ounce to craft 8 items. You craft those, and then you deconstruct them. So quantity 8, craft those, deconstruct, select all the options, and then deconstruct. So it's very quick to do. The only thing is you need a little bit of pewter ounce. Pewter ounce is quite cheap. Refined is. Raw pewter ounce is a little bit expensive usually. I'll just check. Yeah, 42 gold. But then I'm pretty sure normal pewter ounce is quite cheap. Yeah, so 7 gold a piece. That's nothing. So my advice is, if you've got jewelry crafting, just get a little bit of pewter for not much gold. Now there's other ways. I'll go through them. Oh damn it, this one doesn't count. What about the bag? Yeah. Oh god damn it. Oh, I forgot I turned... Alright, I get it. Turn on oil, it's still on. Make sure you turn this off whenever you do the bloody Necrom urn spam. But yeah, backpacks can have jewelry in it. I need to make sure there's no guards nearby. Okay, so backpacks, these can sometimes have jewelry in them. Quite uncommon for them to have jewelry, but it does happen. So you can take them from these. You can go to guild stores. For example, this one here. Just check through. Go to jewelry. And just go OK. And yeah, as you can see, there's a couple of options here. The thing is, if you want to deconstruct them this way, it's still quite expensive when you just go to materials, go to jewelry crafting material, and just look at pewter. There's no pewter here, but you go out to like the main guild stores, the ones in like Deshan and stuff like that. You'll probably find a lot of pewter out there to sink your jewelry crafting tool into, I suppose. I don't know what those are called. Alright, so the last thing that could work for getting a bunch of jewelry is just to do some dolmens, some dark anchors. So every time you complete a dark anchor, there's a chest at the end that you can loot, and it gives you a jewelry piece. You could also get a jewelry piece from killing all the enemies at the dolmen, but yeah, that's not something you can rely on. It'll require doing 8 dolmens though, and that is quite time consuming. So your quickest way will still be just crafting some jewelry and deconstructing it. You can also do jewelry crafting writs, and you get intricate jewelry from that. There's a bunch of different ways, but yeah, if in doubt, just craft a bunch of just get some pewter, craft some rings, and that's it. Okay, so I'll talk now about the last 2 options. So 2 duels and reviving 2 fallen players. Now resurrecting fallen players sounds easy on paper, but trying to go into random content and just rezzing whoever the hell you see, people like to resurrect themselves, usually in those cases. The only time where that doesn't happen at all is bosses, because you can't resurrect yourself on bosses. So doing a trial and stuff like that might be a good way, but even in like normal trials, even in like high tier stuff, sometimes people just don't die and you can't there's nobody to res. My advice here is, alongside duels, do these 2 together. Find someone, do your duels, and both get your resurrections together. Because running around trying to follow people to try and get your resurrections is not really going to work too well. Obviously, you can just do 2 duels instead and do these other options here too, or you can just do these 2. It won't be much to do this one extra, because it just means that you'll need to do 4 duels instead. The good thing about completing duels is you don't need to, regardless of if you win or lose, as long as you don't forfeit it. The only way to forfeit it is to get too far away from the flag that comes down as soon as you start the duel. I'll go through that. So I just need to go find someone to duel with. Okay, so here we go. So all you got to do is, firstly, you want to start the duel. So you hold whatever interact button you need, go to duel. You need to have the other person do the same. So sorry, I'm just basically multi-boxing here. And then you just have to do a duel. Doesn't matter what happens, as long as you don't go too far away from this flag, because that will forfeit the duel, and it doesn't actually count if you do that. Just give me a sec. These characters aren't exactly powerhouses. The issue you're going to have is, with the resurrection, you have to do the full resurrection. Even if you successfully do it, if the other person doesn't accept it from this point, it doesn't count, right? So you watch. So I'll accept it on the other one, press E, and now it works. So even if you successfully res someone, if they decide to, like, especially if you're in the middle of resing someone and they just decide to res themselves via the normal means as you're doing it, it sucks. It doesn't count. So this one can be quite annoying. That's what I suggest doing. And the only thing to consider is, if you've already done these 2, you only need to do the duels. So consider the fact that if the other person hasn't done one of these, they'll need to do the reses. So maybe just let them win and res you instead. Just to consider there. You might, if you're both doing it, just do 4 duels, and one person reses twice, the other person reses the other twice. I think that's the best way to go through these. All right. Any other questions about any of this stuff? As always, just give me a holler. But that's Daily's concluded for now. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. We'll see you next time, and take care.